You all are academics. You're researchers. To me, that means that you are civil rights leaders and activists in your field of study, no matter what that is. And you have to find a way to counter the narratives in the canon created to attempt to continue to enslave our minds. Find what's missing from the conversations at the table where decisions are being made in your field of study. There is where you'll find your research questions and your answers. I don't care if it's biochemistry, if it's higher education, English, or what have you. You have to be able to plant seeds, to pay it forward for what other people did for us. We have to be able to do that for people coming behind us. 150 years ago, if someone, especially white folks, spoke up against slavery, you were going against the law, your church, and your mama, right? I want you to consider what is going on today in society, in your field of study, your interest, that you know is wrong. But if you speak up for it, you'd be going against the law, your church, your mama, and perhaps even your middle class salary. Our dear Lord said, your silence will not protect you. It's your duty to speak up. And while it's safe for everyone to openly admit now that slavery and Jim Crow were wrong, again, if you spoke up, you would be going against so many people. But today, a lot of folks don't even see how slavery still impacts us today, and how particularly white people still benefit. So you can take this back to your campus as well, because they still benefit. And that's sometimes a hard question for us to answer. The benefits span, first, wealth that is found particularly in home ownership. That is called equity. Black folks don't have equity in bulk across the United States. Right? So we've been conditioned to believe that you buy a house and that house is supposed to be your biggest investment ever in your life. That is a lie to keep you in your place. That is not your biggest investment. Because they're trying to tell you, if you buy this house, you'll be here forever and ever and ever, rather than investing and buying more houses and renting them out. Right? You don't teach, you don't learn in a college how to be an entrepreneur in most cases. That's where real freedom is economic freedom. And if you can break down a person economically, that's where in this carnal, this physical world, that's where you break them. That's why, my sons and I talk about slavery and understand, because when they bring lessons home, we got to get it right. Not quite right. So, what I tell them is, if you want to win a war, you break down the economic system in wherever you're trying to win. That's why they get Twin Towers. That's why slavery was abolished, because it was the economic system of the South. Well, not only do white people still benefit, particularly with home ownership, but there are also long-standing companies who have their foundation rooted in slavery. So if it wasn't for that free labor for those centuries, they wouldn't have existed today. Then, check this out, they have the ability to write the history any way they wanted it, and then legislate it as truth for everybody. And then they have the right or the ability to not have to think about being anything other than right. While the same, slaves during that time were marginalized extensively, their descendants are still marginalized today.